We return to quite the scene. Sort of the match game of these competitions between the Starmen and the humans of the ELO and the survivors. That game was quickly turning quite hateful as a confused and enraged Sally Pimienta was attacking the pair of Lewis Clark and Marisol with a laser sword, taking laser tag to a whole new level. But the javelin, true to its name, pierced right through the hole of the Ark of the Stars into the Garden of the Stars, which is Sally Pimienta's chosen arena for this particular competition. It seems that Avicii has been struck by Marina's stand as savages and is reverting to a more primal berserker phase of his personality. He has liberated Tyson of his arms and attached them to his own body, part of one of his stunts, giving him now a +2 to any action that he does. And it seems that those changes caused by Marina have greatly begun the wheel of a transformation, familiar and yet alien change, a metamorphosis, one possible for any Starman that has reached a sufficient level of power and experience. So we have up on deck currently Marina, Tyson, an injured Sugar Ray who was being healed by Marisol, Sally Pimienta who was stuck to Tyson, but I think they're still stuck together, right?
Yeah, they're still a candy
They are
bar.
still stuck.
Yes, very good. And also, I left out the part where Jeff and Nia were just off fucking tearing
Trashing
up,
the ship.
trashing the ship. So Avicii is, as you see him here, beginning to leak acid from his eyes and his mouth, smiling uncontrollably now, his full face uncovered, hunched over with these two extra bulging arms on his back. Tyson and Sally Pimienta would have been closest to him. He just casually smacks them aside so that they go kind of rolling and flying away, bouncing as they go. And he begins to laugh to himself. I think Marina is probably the next closest to him. Marina, this is in fact a creepy clown that's staring at you.
Oh God, what's happening to your face?
What happened to your face? He kind of stares at you, Marina, and begins to open his mouth wide, much wider than he probably should be able to, if he was human, and emits a quick jet of acidic sulfurous gas, kind of aimed right for your face.
Can I use tunneling to grab part of the floor and like pull it up?
Sure. Well, you do. Some of the acid, however, begins to eat through the metal and actually starts to spray on you. You succeed in stopping it because it was clearly aimed at your face.
Probably
When it
getting all
touches
over
your
my
body?
hands. Yeah.
It actually does begin to melt away the metal of you.
Ugh. I start to shake my hands.
When you try to get it off, instead of a sizzle that you would normally expect to hear from acid, you hear like just giggles.
Oh, it's part of him. Gross.
I must admit that I really enjoy these games. They are fun. Everybody, thank you so much for the games. I want to play more games. It's so boring in space. There's no games. Who wants to play a game with Avicii? After he's done talking, the top half of his head actually begins to tilt backwards until it's completely hanging off of his head. Like his jaw has unhinged. And it's like he's almost passed out or something. His tongue just kind of sticks up into his tongue, by the way, is about, I'll say, a foot long and very lizard-like. It kind of sticks up and begins to waver in the air, just kind of almost serenely.
Marisol's definitely distracted looking at that, as she has like her hands over Sugar Ray, trying to focus. But she sees that and she's just kind of transfixed. What the hell are we gonna... There's no reasoning with that. It's sort of dawning on her that they're actually gonna have to fight whatever he is.
Marina, in this situation, you're not just like a brute and a berserker, you're a survivalist. How do you feel like your character would act in a situation seeing this kind of threat?
She's kind of nervous about Tyson, who's just like a ball on the floor and not close enough to her. And she's also just like, she doesn't understand what this thing is other than a weird melty cloud, and she hates it.
Yeah, Tyson is missing his arms, but he stands up on his feet with Sally Pimienta kind of somehow having gotten to being attached on his back. So they're just back to back.
Good.
Grammy, he stole my arms.
Get away from him, Tyson.
I need my arms back, Grammy.
He's not gonna give them back, Tyson. Step away from him. Get behind me.
I mean, he's just a clown. I'm not that scared. Well, I'm not scared of Who told you I was scared? He just starts walking behind you. I'm scared of clowns. Sally Pimienta is currently struggling. Let me go, you idiot ape. Ah! Sugar Ray, when you were healing him, he looks fucking real scared of Avicii. He really isn't interested in this fucking fight. This is, for them, probably the scariest thing they've ever seen in their lives.
That just chills Marisol even more to see him reacting like that.
While you are distracted by the strangely knocked out Avicii, there were other figures approaching. The Blank Star Men, kind of amorphous figures, humanoid vaguely, have begun to make their way towards the garden and are beginning to enter it. First in a small group of about 5, but it looks like more of them are on the way. As they're coming in, they are stepping on grass and stone, and you can see them kind of their form ripple and change as they begin to take on properties of those things. So it looks like almost nature spirits are walking through the garden now.
What the hell are these things?
They look familiar to you, actually, Marina. They have a somewhat of a resemblance to 99 Problems.
Tuesday.
But 99 Problems never did this shit.
No. From Marina's perspective, she just got here and there's these really weird tree things roaming about.
Avicii's head begins to slowly snap back forward and set back into place. Oh, where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Where? Yes. Games. We will play a game. Who wants to play a game? If nobody wants to play a game, then I will just have to play one by myself. Should I play one by myself?
What the hell kind of games are you talking about?
Well, tag we've done, and with the lasers and the horse riding, and there's one game we haven't done. Yes. Hide and seek. Hide and seek. You hide, and I seek. Are you ready to play, everybody? Tara, how do you feel about this shit show you've come in on?
She's completely out of her element and terrified, but she has her sword drawn and she's not about to back down.
Well, since nobody seems to want to take Avicii up on his game.
Start counting?
Okay, here we go. 10, 9.
Can I just
8.
punch you in the face?
Yes, you can. Your fist goes right through his head. You just pulp his head completely. Just blow a hole right through it. 7.
Yay. Oh, it's still counting.
6. If you were to look down, you'd see his mouth is sticking out of some of the gore that's left on the flap of what his head was. 5.
Marisol suddenly takes off to go hide.
I said, take your little friend and hide. At this point, she's like, I can't really stop him. I gotta get all of my tiny children out of here.
Yeah, Tyson turns and begins to run with Sally's locks whipping in all directions. Lewis will take off with you, Marisol. Marina, you're pretty close to Avicii. You have 3 seconds before he considers this countdown to be over.
Is Sugar Ray still in this room?
Marisol, you wouldn't have just left him there, right?
She probably would have tried to take him with her, yeah.
Lewis and Marisol can each take an arm and try to get him out of there.
Can I try to, tunnel him into the ship?
So you're trying to bury him into the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
give
to
me a
give
tunnel roll.
everybody a couple seconds to run. Oh,
Oh my god.
no!
Jesus, all negatives. I mean, you can put him down into the ship. Yeah.
I feel like I try to drop him into whatever room is below this, but maybe I hit space.
Probably more like a metal compartment. Your javelin punched pretty far through the hull to get to space. I'll say you just drop him into a pretty thick metal compartment. Do you seal it off?
I try.
You seal it over completely. You don't even need to roll for it. You hear something very quiet.
3, 2,
Oh, I start to go.
Tara's going quickly.
1.
The metal where you buried him begins to distort. So you're heading out. Are you gonna try to hide somewhere in the garden, or are you gonna try to leave it?
I feel like I would leave this area.
Just so you know, though, kind of coming in from both rooms, there are those blank starmen. If you approach them, they will start to walk towards you. You can probably just book it past them real quick, but that's true of anyone who's trying to leave this garden. There are blank starmen just like milling about. They run about zombie speed right now, so you can't outrun them for the moment. But those of you who have experience with this, you know they start picking up speed once they start absorbing things.
She doesn't know yet that they absorb people, so she like charged through them.
If you charge through them, you will notice that when they brush up against you, they begin to look like you vaguely.
Oh.
They begin to grow in shape and turn like a sort of pseudo metal.
Huh. Well, Marina likes more of her, but she does like clear a path for Tara mostly.
They're incomplete, so they're like half formed. Like one will be missing an arm, one will be like sort of hollow looking. And once they get like knocked down, you like barrel them over. Like some of them will even break when they hit the ground. They're not quite done baking or something. Like they still need time.
Weird. We put them out too early, which is good? Question mark.
Yeah, probably. Oh, where did Marisol and Lewis go?
I'm gonna say they're just taking cover behind some trees at the moment until they like find an actual solid hiding spot. But Marisol's eyeing one of the blank starmen and considering cloning it.
Lewis is like checking his equipment while you're doing that. I don't know what we're gonna do about that guy. That's not fucking normal.
Yeah, I don't know. For now, I think we should just play his game of just trying to hide.
The ship begins to rock a little and shake and tremor. Lewis looks around. Oh man, I think this ship might be going somewhere and probably down. I don't know when, but that isn't stable.
Shit. It's not like we can leave, so I guess we have to deal with this guy.
Sugar Ray, we don't really know each other like friends or anything, but this seems to be life or death, and I think you want to live, so we can count you in on taking down, I don't know what the grandpa creepy over there, right? Sugar Ray kind of like nods his head. He still looks like he's not doing so hot, but the ripple that you used on him has sealed some of the cracks in his form. All right, cool. You know, there's like a good chance I'm gonna die here. I'm really feeling that right now.
Yeah?
It's like a little romantic, right?
No, it's not. And also, I think I'm also gonna die, so it doesn't make it romantic at all. It's just kind of weird.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean, because it's like you and me are here, we're gonna die, and you know, it's like a couple activity, isn't it?
Damn, Lewis. I mean, that was a pretty quick run, if that's the case. It's been like a month.
I'm sure people have died quicker and loved harder. He checks his lightning gun that he brought with him. All right, still got a charge in this, so just have to zap that clown when he shows up and hope that this works. I'm guessing he's loaded with acid. Maybe it's conductive, but who knows? I'm not sure what kind of acid it is, and quite frankly, I don't even know that it is normal. I heard it giggling.
Yeah, look, whoever attacks first, the other should follow up. It's like, let's just hit him hard.
Right on. One last thing.
Sure, what?
Well, you know, like if I die.
Yeah, you already told me. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Well, I mean, other than that,
What?
you gotta like find Think and Thonk and shoot him with a marshmallow gun for me. I'll regret if I die and I haven't done that like before I left, you know. They gotta be executed for their crimes. He like cocks the electricity gun and fires off like a test spark. Yeah, those damn robots.
That's really ridiculous, and I don't think I'm gonna live through this if you're not. I'll keep it in mind though, Lewis. No problem.
No, there was actually something else actually important.
Okay, what's that?
If you start hearing like a buzzing sound around me, you'll probably want to get out of the way. You'll know it when you hear it.
Okay. I don't like the sound of that, but okay.
All right, good talk.
Wait, no, hold on. Since you just did that to me, I'm gonna tell you, if I die... Also, this is dumb. We should be getting ready to fight, but if I die, I feel like there's something that I can send your way. I'm not super sure, but I kind of feel it in my bones.